On your break today, we're going to talk about Covidcations and our Mount Rushmore of the worst types of coworkers. All right, time to clock out for lunch. Welcome to Unpaid Lunch, and thanks for spending your break with us. I'm Heavy D. With me, as always, is Andy P. And we got the real OG, a man who always needs an introduction. Rhino, say hi to the hustlers, fellas.
Hello, hello. I'm not the only OG here in the house today. Who else we got here?
Well,
with us?
Monroe is also here.
Hey, how are y'all?
Into a chair. He's melting into a chair.
So, yeah, it just brings to mind like the old 90s commercial where it's like, don't do drugs, and the kid just absorbs into the couch and just turns into Laffy Taffy. That's what I kind of look at when I see him right now.
That's my whole life.
There's nothing wrong with that. You got to do what you got to do to get through the day, man. So before we get into anything work-related, I had this weird, startling epiphany the other day, walking through the house. And I really want a poll here of whether or not I'm an incredibly shitty dad. So, I know this is kind of a little bit going off track immediately, but so anyone in this room right now that says they have not seen the trailer for Cocaine Bear yet, you've not lived. Please tell me you've seen the trailer for this movie.
Yeah. I watched the trailer for it when it was last year.
Oh, this movie looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And see, that's the thing. That's what got the whole conversation started is, TikTok is just you're going to get lost in it. But everybody that's getting early entry into seeing this movie is just talking about this ambulance scene and gushing about it. So my child hears this. And keep in mind, I let my kid play Grand Theft Auto and God knows everything else. My child, who is 9 years old, just freshly turned 9 years old, is begging me to take him to opening day of Cocaine Bear. Am I a shitty dad?
No, are you taking him?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. No, I mean, so I think it can be two different questions, right? Are you a shitty dad, and should you go take him to the movie?
Well, probably two questions. Question A, shitty dad.
Well, probably.
Probably something he doesn't need to see.
Well, I don't know.
But I mean, can you honestly say you don't want to watch this movie about a coked out bear right now?
I don't think it makes you a shitty dad.
Yeah, no.
If 20 years ago, maybe. Dude, it's 2020. It's who the fuck? It should serve him well to know about both cocaine bears and the tears of mixing.
So this is stuff that could genuinely happen in Letcher County, Kentucky, in our mountains. He needs to know what happens.
Depends on what kind of father you're trying to be. If you're trying to prepare him for the real world, yeah, let him watch the movie.
Don't do coke. Don't fight bears.
Repeat.
It's educational.
It's going to be meth bears here. It's not going to be cocaine.
My son wanted to take
much worse.
My 12-year-old son wanted to take his 12-year-old girlfriend to watch Cocaine Bear Friday night, and I was like, no. You can't take your girlfriend on your first date to see Cocaine Bear.
See, now
right?
that's good.
All right, but then I said, we'll go watch Cocaine Bear Sunday.
Because it had nothing to do with a girlfriend. Dusty just didn't want to be left out.
He was just looking out for the date.
Well, it was two things. Also, I know her parents, and I'm pretty sure they didn't know she was going to watch Cocaine Bear.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, hear me out. Jumps into our topic of Covidcations, right?
Absolutely.
It'd be really good to watch Cocaine Bear, if you were off work for a week. So I really just never thought that I'd ever have a week off work with pay that didn't come from disciplinary action. And I think, so I've had COVID 4 times or something. I don't know, I'm vaccinated and everything. I'm like a carrier. I think I just have it.
Got bad luck.
Yeah, I walk around with it.
XG.
Yeah, I just walk around with it. It's fine. So I get it at work. They know it's on speed dial. I got COVID. It's cool. But 5 days off is what you have to have, I think. And
I think it's
my
5
company's
days.
great, so my company pays you.
So that's the big kicker. Is in the beginning, it was, oh man, it was an HR nightmare because these companies didn't want to be the one company that didn't pay you for it.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh God, you got COVID. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. But then once we got into strain 3, 4, 5 or whatever, it's well, do they really need the full 5 days?
Yeah.
Can you just go get some Dayquil or something and just kind of figure it out?
Seems a little hard to sustain.
Oh yeah, like
Have you been off with it? Off
Me?
work with it?
Yeah, I have.
Did you get paid?
Fuck no. No. I was
Yeah.
working. I don't even know. I should throw that out there. They might get in trouble for that. We'll just.
It's fine.
For some
We know.
municipalities.
it's weird, like going
I don't
through
think
the
it
whole entire
matters.
thing. It's like you have people that's got COVID, which understandable. Like you're out, 5 days, whatever it is, paid. But then also during the same time, like I know of workers that like got hit by a brutal hurricane in Florida. Was like displaced, no power, no water, no anything. And they're like,
But can you make it tomorrow?
yeah, can you be?
You gonna show
tomorrow?
up?
Yeah.
They literally like had to use all of their PTO and everything. Like didn't get anything paid for it. I'm like, I mean, I get it. People's sick and shit, but like this dude might not have a house. Like this is not okay.
So
So
might
it's-
be extenuating circumstances.
The whole entire COVID thing was just weird. And I know I have different viewpoints on it compared to others because, we went through a lot of stuff with my family and everything. But I'm telling you, as a manager, like managing, multiple people within a row, that was the most unique thing through COVID. It's one thing to be sent home as a worker and everything else, but like when you're getting fed information, it's like you can't tell anybody about this, and all of a sudden, like when we were first sending people home, we had like 100 people in our department. It's like, okay, by the end of this week, we may send like 10, 15 people home to see how it works. By 2 o'clock that day, here comes the dollies, and we're pushing 100 some people out the
When
door
it
at one
started.
time. I'm like, where did the breakdown in communication go there? Like,
Yeah, I remember
I've
when it
never
started.
loaded, so I feel like a Lowe's employee, like loading furniture up in a car. I've never pushed so many people out the door. Of a
They had the
business that
news on,
fast.
like we're watching news in the background at work, and it was like, I think this might be serious. And it was like, work was like, well, I think they might go home for a couple of days and everybody be off work. And then it was like, before the end of the day, they were like, so everybody's just gonna go home and work forever.
And that place was a ghost town within like 2 hours. I'm talking about a business that has like 600, 700 staff people on site gone 2 hours. I mean, we done really good packing people up. We probably work for UPS as a side gig or something done better than UPS.
Monroe,
Like,
were
it's
you
insane.
working when COVID first
I was
started?
definitely working still.
Oh, he's got a unique perspective because he's
Yeah.
health field. Like
Yeah,
we're
'cause
all
he-
just.
No, he's not just health field, but he does respiratory.
Oh no,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got a unique
Yeah.
perspective on it.
Surprisingly, I've never been off work because of COVID.
Oh, well,
Champion.
how many times have you had it?
Maybe once is all I know.
Maybe.
Maybe once. I like that.
Could have been.
Who knows?
That test hurts really bad in the nose.
Oh
Don't want
God.
any of those.
Take your children to go get that done. It's like you're ripping off toenails.
Yo, the first time I had it done, no joke, I was like, bitch, you better quit. I was like, really? I'm not gonna be able to.
Fist
Like, and it
clenched,
was-
drawn back,
And it was
ready to
like,
go.
I was like, Jesus. My wife was like, it's gonna hurt because she's gonna go way up in there, and I was like, yeah, but like, how far? And she was like, and it's like it's gonna hurt, and I was like, all right, I'm bawling, like.
Right.
Like, I was like, what are you doing? She was like, just 2 more seconds. I was like, 2 more seconds? I'm like, heal you. We stay here 2 more seconds.
Did you come in at the time of like the wire bottle brush
Yeah.
era? Like they moved on from the Q-tips to how they were like, fuck it, we're just gonna put them through it.
It's
You
like
come
you
out to my
have
car
that.
window in a hazmat suit.
We have to do both nostrils because it might be in one side. Like, what? Come on.
It's like you have that. Most of us that are afraid to do it. One time, my wife, God love her heart, she was so paranoid that she's going to have COVID. She would swab herself like twice a day with those take-home kits. Like, I don't know how you're sitting here doing this again. I bet you she's probably used no less than 25 take-home kits testing herself. I'm like 2 or 3 times, and I feel like I don't have no nasal canal left. Like, it's gone.
So I've never tested negative.
I told you it's that mutant X gene, man.
Never tested negative. Like
Definitely a carrier.
I was thinking like I've only tested when I like felt like I was sick, but like I mean I've never.
Do you have a test here now?
I don't know. I'd love to take.
Oh
a
my
test.
God, can we do that like
We
live
could-
on air?
we
Like,
could.
literally let Monroe hold
There
it
is
down
not.
and just swab it.
There's not a
Go
motherfucker
get
in
an
here.
8-pin, man. We'll just wrap it in cotton.
There ain't anybody
ram
in here.
it up in there.
I'm gonna let test me. I'll do it.
Now, one thing that was cool about my workplace during the whole entire COVID shutdown is we got those wild food vouchers. Like, you had all these different businesses that participated. It's like, okay, here's your list of like 18 places that you can go that's going to give you $20 to $25 off of your meal for being an employee here. Just show your name badge. I ate so much barbecue. from Virginia during COVID. It was insane. Like, it was the greatest thing in the world. So, but you got that part of it. But then also there's like the morale food part of it too. It's like, okay, we need everybody. We know it's a stressful environment. Is there any way that we can have a virtual pizza party? Like, because this is Old Faithful, you got to have the pizza party. So it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, everything sucks. We're going to have to let half of you go. But we are getting food catered today.
Have you ever noticed, now this is slightly off the topic of COVID, but completely about the topic that you just brought up. Any workplace that you ever been in, if you're getting fed, you're about to get bad news.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you come in there like, we got food catered today. All right. What are they taking from me today?
Yeah.
Like, when
Stuff the pig.
I'm losing money, or I'm losing PTO or paid holidays or something, because every single time you're getting paid, you're getting screwed. It's happening.
It's simultaneous.
Every time you're getting fed, you're getting screwed.
We get the food at the hospital, but usually you have to go to an in-service. So it's,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You got to do it anyways.
Yeah.
I simultaneously read emails that says there's a freeze on PTO and an announcement that's like, there's pizza in the break room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's the same email all the way through.
And then I had a boss that we called him Announce and Bounce, because that was his patented thing. Friday, about 3 o'clock, needed to deliver some bad news, send out an email, and within the email hitting the floor, you see him cutting the corner with his briefcase, walking out the back door. I'm like, you son of a bitch. It's like, let me go ahead and just drop this napalm on the floor, and I'm gone.
And it feels shitty, but it's not really like, okay, so it feels shitty when I think I'm getting COVID, but also it is in my head a little bit that I'm like,
oh yeah,
it's in everybody's head.
Maybe I'm gonna
still.
Maybe I'm gonna get time off work with pay. Right? It doesn't matter. Like I was gonna work those days anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like I tested negative. Like I'm gonna test positive. Just so happens I may actually test positive all the time. I'm Ellie.
And they can't really argue the point anymore.
Ellie from the last
post-pandemic, you can't.
Right. Well, that's kind of the thing is like, that's what Ryan was saying about it being an HR nightmare is because what are you going to do? Like, I don't believe you that you have COVID. I don't believe that test is a positive. It's really hard. It's a really hard thing.
I worked for the same company pre-pandemic, left while the pandemic started, and I've came back. So it's like, it's literally like coming back to a neutered version of the company that I left because they went through a period where like there were some people through an entire month would work 3 days, if that, and they would just be like, no, I have COVID. I'm sick. And no, they wouldn't question, call out, want any kind of result, nothing.
Even worse than that, you not personally have COVID yourself, but stating that you've been close contact to someone with COVID. Yeah. That brought up a whole different game.
Yeah, they're over that now, though. Companies are over that now. They're just like, do you directly, have you tested positive for COVID? I don't care about anybody in your family.
At the beginning, they didn't care, though. At the beginning, you could say, listen, I drove by somebody going down I-65. I'm pretty sure that car had red tape on it. It announced they had COVID. They're like, well, man, you need to go get tested. You ain't coming to work for 3 days.
Today's episode is brought to you by Big Richard's Plumbing and Pipe Laying. No matter the girth of the pipe you desire, Big Richard has what you need. Bring your mother for a 10% discount on pipe laying or plumb work. Big Richard's. You've tried the rest. Now let us give you the best. Now, if you've not been to the 4th grade and you don't know what a Mount Rushmore is, then we'll just say it's the best 4 of something in no particular order. And we're talking about the Mount Rushmore of the worst types of coworkers.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, I just like, close, loud talkers or the annoying guy or the suck up. So we're all 4 going to do one. Monroe's here, so he's going to do one.
I feel like he just really put me on blast for 3 of those.
Yeah,
he did look right in your eyes.
I'm the loud guy.
I'm sure I'm not the loud guy anywhere.
Oh, I'm definitely the loud guy.
Yeah,
you're the loud guy in places you're not even in.
Yeah. The only time I'm not the loud guy is if my dad is there too.
Oh Jesus!
Then he's the loud guy. All right, so mine would have to be. There's a bunch, but definitely it's like the one-up guy to me is who always ruins everything for me. I literally worked with a dude at a call center that was... We were just bullshitting. We were all bullshitting about going to space or something. I don't know what the fuck we were talking about. And he said, yeah, before I came back to Virginia, I was working in the astronaut training program. I was like, what?
I thought you was going to say he gave Elon a handy or something like that.
No, man. He said he was an astronaut. He was like, he was in astronaut training. I was like,
smooth career change there.
yeah. I was like, great. And like, looking at the guy, he's like 22 or something. Like, there's no way. And he's fat. Like, I can only call people fat if you're fat, and I'm fat, and he was fat. Right? Skinny people can't call fat people fat. But he also said, so then we were talking about martial arts. And I don't know shit about martial arts outside of watching the first 3 UFCs and, you know, a bunch of Bruce Lee movies. I don't think Karate Kid counts, so I didn't even say it.
What about 3 Ninjas?
3 Ninjas fucking counts, and Ninja Turtles counts.
I was
Mega Mountain. Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles counts.
Yeah. It's the foundation for it, right?
It has to be. But so then he was like, when I was abroad in Japan.
Oh my God. When I was in Okinawa.
It's like, legitimately, like, we just all looked at each other like, what the fuck is he talking about? And he was like, when I was abroad in Japan, I was learning, and I shit you not, like, he was like, I was learning bow staff skills, like, just like Napoleon Dynamite. And he was like, I got really good with the staff, and that's what I used. It was my martial arts training. And it was literally everything you did. He would talk about places he worked.
I would have brought that motherfucker a staff in the next day if I had to make one overnight.
Give him a broomstick.
Yeah, so
show me.
I just started saying something different every day to see if he would say that he did it.
He either did it or knows a guy that did do it.
It's like
that's the other part of it. It's like you start a story. It's like, oh, well, let me tell you what I've seen before.
It's like I went
just the piggy tail right into it, but just the slight.
I went jet skiing at the lake this weekend, and he was like, "Sit there a second." And he'd go, "Yeah, I went a couple weekends ago, you know, and I done kite surfing, you know, where you got the kite." And I was like,
I was in the X Games.
I was like, it's awesome. And I mean, legitimately, the dude, there's no way he done any of those things.
Dyrdek was driving the boat.
Yeah, and it was like, it would have been more believable if he would have been 30 or 32 or, you know, middle, I don't know, not.
Maybe you just wanted friends, man.
Maybe he really did do all this shit and you're about to get called out. That'd be awesome.
I hope if you are out there and you are an astronaut, come fucking get me and take me to Mars.
Let us know.
And bring a bow staff.
Oh, in case you get stuck fighting off xenomorphs. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Man,
That's good.
I guess mine would be like the complete opposite of that. I hate the person that leans on ignorance. Like, there's no way. Like, they could work there.
You just hate stupid people.
They could work there for a year and a half, and they'd be like, you know, I haven't really been back here this long. You know, I'm not really sure this is a new product. Like, you know what I do? I Google everything. If you come to me and ask me any question, I'm gonna look you dead in the eye and say, I don't know, right? And then I'm going to pull out my phone and I'm going to ask you that same question again and I'm going to type it out. Just do that.
Yeah.
Even if you work, I don't care where you work. Just do that.
You have a computer in your pocket.
Ignorance is a choice.
That happens everywhere too. That's so common everywhere because like
so frustrating.
People all the time like transferring over to me like, hey, I'm not sure I know how to set this up. You do know how to set it up.
You know what this is, though, ultimately. It's smart. It's psychology. It is a ploy to get you to do their job for them.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time,
Hey.
see, now with you, it don't, but I've seen many people that are so gullible. Like,
There's nobody that knows how to Slack better than I do. Right? No one on earth. Right? I might as well be a McFly.
He is king of cutting corners.
No, man, I'd straight teach. I'd grab you by the fucking ear. Like, dude, I've worked big box retail, and I've been mixing paint before, and somebody walked by me and be like, hey, somebody needs a key cut. And I'll be like, all right, wait right there where you're at. Give me 5 minutes, you're going to learn, because it is easy as shit.
Yeah, and that's what I do now at work. I'm like, all right.
Because I
and
don't
they're
want
like,
to do it either.
You take this and talk to them and set this up. And I was like, I'm gonna show you how to set it up,
Yep.
and that's what you're gonna do, and then I'll take the customer. That we can do that.
You gotta
It kills
teach
me
'em.
at work. They do that too.
Yeah, just act like they don't know how to do
They
it. So
do
you
it
have
like-
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you have to go with them
That's it.
to do it.
yeah. Like they have no idea how to. And they've been there as long as you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's even worse for you because like I'm just making millionaires into billionaires. You're saving lives and shit. Like that's a bad place.
But
to
then he
get
has an
that behavior.
obligation to go though because
I have to go.
because
I mean,
if he
like,
don't go and they kill him, like everybody's just gonna get fired.
Yeah.
Like
it's a lose-lose. I mean,
yeah. So he's like, all right,
I got to do something.
I'll show this idiot how
Or I
to
could
do
lose my
this.
job both.
Yeah.
It is a lose-lose.
Monroe, you got one?
Man, mine's got to be like, you know, the people that whatever comes out of their mouth, it's a lie. You
Oh,
you know
just
you can't believe
Literally
it.
everything. Like,
Yes.
Not even like and lying about the dumbest shit. Right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
if they have proof, it's a
Yeah.
Google picture.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Getty images stamped all over the background of
The
it.
edited
Or
out of it.
you search what you want, that same image, and it's the first one that pops up,
Oh,
first
yeah.
picture.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
know, and it's ultimate cry wolf, right? Because then like you just can't believe anything they
No,
have to say.
but you have to.
Yeah, right.
But you know it's always going to be bullshit.
And
The
them-
best thing in the world is those when you stage it and you know they're going to lie, but you
Oh, I
literally
love
have
catching
a
them
lock,
in it.
stock, and barrel. Not even catching them, like you're staging it.
Oh,
Like you're
absolutely.
asking them to lie to you.
Yeah.
It's
You've already
like, I
got the
just wanna
proof
see-
saved and everything.
I know
wanna
I
see
know the
how
answer to
elaborate
it, but I'm
this
still
is gonna
going to
get.
ask the question
Yeah.
to see what you say.
Oddly enough, that exact mentality is one of the worst fucking customer traits ever. Like if you come in and you ask me a question you already know the answer to, and you call me out right in the middle of it, like when I'm like, I don't really know. Well, actually, the next one comes out and like this. I'm like, don't just avoid me next time.
They just want to
Let me
prove
give
you wrong.
Let me
Yeah,
give you the
it's-
vest. And
That's
the
what it is.
keys
It's
and-
people that want to prove you wrong about
It
something.
is.
And
I
like,
ain't there for that.
and if they get that one thing, it's like the worst. And they get that one thing and hold it on you.
All they need is one thing.
Well, that's something we would probably. I know, me and you've spent a lot of time, a lot of experience in one specific industry, and I know it's something we'll probably address in future episodes. But there's nothing worse than that than working in the video game industry. My God in heaven, like people come in, hey, you know when this game's going to come out? Oh, Street Day says this is your. Oh, well, there was a surprise announcement today. They're pushing it up 2 weeks. Why did you ask me? Well, your thing right here, the date's wrong. Well, why didn't you just tell me that? I would have updated it, asshole. Like,
Oh,
I
thanks. Thanks for nothing.
I don't understand the point of that. And then like you said, with the lying and things like that, that's true for customers, everything, full gamut all the way across. Mine is a little bit weird. I have a real problem with a sense of entitlement. Like, and more often than not, it stems from tenure. And I know I'm going to probably piss off a lot of unionized workers around here and things like that in the world, but here's my thing. If you've been working in a specific field and you've been doing it for 5 or 6 years and you've been passed up multiple times for, promotional advancements, things like that, it's probably not for you.
Yeah.
You're probably not cut out to work that role or that position.
There's a reason.
But you've been there for 6 years, by God, and it should be yours. It should 100% be yours.
Yeah, but then there's two types of those, right? There's like people who've been there forever and feel like they should get those positions and never get them, and then people who just have worked there 20 years and never took a promotion, which is just as annoying.
Oh, there's that too. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know
Found
there's
their
some
seat
that's
and got
super
comfortable.
capable.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
mean-
they're the best in the. They're like it's who you call on. Like when you need something, it's like, well, ask Roger. He knows literally everything. And it's
What's
like,
your
oh, is he a
go-to?
team lead? No, he's a tier 1. He's just like on the floor. He's just been here 22 years. Like he just knows everything, and he just likes to work 9 to 5 and go home.
It's
like-
niche.
Yeah, and
Never
I,
respect it.
and I get it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
if you know that's what you want, and that is your clear cut goal, you have no aspirations beyond that. Like it's not as frustrating to me because at the end of the day, there's only so many cooks that can be in the kitchen. You need good soldiers, and that's one of the biggest things I've said for the longest time is you can be a damn good soldier and not have to be a leader.
You got real big management talk going on.
I'm sorry.
It's killing the
I'm
fucking
trying.
vibe.
I'm not trying to kill
It's
the vibe.
killing the vibe.
But that's like the biggest thing
I'm about
that
to quit
kills
your
me.
job.
Can we
I don't
practice
blame you.
interviews later?
Oh, I mean, we can. I mean, I got a notepad over here, but that's the biggest thing.
I'll
for
be
me
insubordinate. We'll hang out.
Is like you see people come in the door that 100% they walked into this job, and after talking to them for 10 minutes, you're like, they're going to run this place in like 6 days.
Yeah.
Like you just know.
Yeah.
And then there's like, as soon as they start climbing that ladder, oh my God, the bitching that starts. And it all happens on the damn smoke dock. You cannot go out to that smoke dock without getting cut in half, man, by just the sideways snide remarks out
Yeah,
there.
if you want to know something, it's where you go, though.
No, yeah.
Like, if you need
Oh,
to know.
100%.
If you need to know something.
100%. Because that is...
That's why nobody really wants managers out there.
Well, I think they actually, yeah, it's for one, why they don't want managers out there, but also I think they plant people out there sometimes. It's like, okay,
Just to see what I said.
we got some bad feedback. We're getting ready to push down. Someone take up position. All right, back dock, go.
Yeah.
And then they just sit there and just mentally take notes of everyone that's came out and bitch, just set everything on fire. It's been like that with every job that I've ever been to.
It's very cloak and dagger. It's really cool.
I mean,
I'm interested in the inner machinations of this place now. Like I just imagine different gangs and territories.
it's like that in every
Shapes
place that I've
under
ever been.
Mouse pads and stuff.
Come out and play. Trying to get everybody together on it. But I'm not sure any of that works, though.
I think it's unique that we all had the four that we kind of brought up as our Mount Rushmore, and like there's so many like such easily attainable like low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
the
there's
smelly
honorable
guy,
mentions, right?
you know,
Honorable
also the-
mentions is like the dude who stinks.
Yeah,
right?
I mean it's a given.
So we got dude who stinks.
At the end of the day, though, like you get used to the little ones, you know.
Yeah, so the dude who stinks is just the stinky guy, right? And you just know he's a stinky guy, so you just don't go around him, right? Or I mean, you know, you are the stinky guy. If there's somebody, if there's nobody at work that smells bad, it's probably you.
I like the awkward lingerer, like the person that just walks up to your desk and doesn't have anything to say, just awkwardly sits and stares at you. It's like, hey, how you doing? Doing good. Okay, what can I help you with? I just see what you're doing. And they just stand there.
Just
Like
like,
Phone up,
5
scrolling
minutes.
Facebook.
And I'm just
whoa.
like, okay, I gotta go do something real quick, and just like you take off running to the bathroom or
And
something.
I ain't trying to shame them, but it's just people with don't know how to act in social interactions.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I get it. It
But-
just it makes me really uncomfortable.
please move.
It makes
Um,
me super uncomfortable.
Can I help you with something? I would like you to go away.
Because if I go up to someone's desk or like up to someone randomly, like in a store or something like that, I have an agenda. There's something that I'm wanting to
Yeah.
accomplish, not just walk up and just like I don't know. I know no one can see me making the face that I'm making right now, just where I'm like creepily just like gawking there, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, there's a lot of coworkers that are gonna get on your nerves about everything.
You're always going
Or-
to find that one thing.
The insane go-getters that just go for fucking everything.
Yeah.
They do not stop
I just,
one.
you know what pisses me off is people who pretend like they're good, like at work, like they're
Yeah.
good. And I was like, what are you doing? Nobody's like that.
Are we talking about like good at their job, or are we talking about morality wise?
So,
Like
both, like I
saint.
mean, obviously, like overachieving at their job when it's really just like your job, it's not impressive what you do, but like just like
Walking with a swagger on the way to their
Yeah, and then, like,
cubicle.
making sure they let you know they know how to do something better than you do it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like the whole thing, and it's just because you do it that I was like, this is easier than the way that you're showing me to do it. Like, yeah, but this is the right way, and I was like, okay,
He's by the book.
that's completely the by the book guy,
Yeah.
right?
do
By the
not
book guys.
deviate from policy. Kind of.
Yeah, and it's when generally like my job in general is like it's judgment calls most of the time, and I was like, so this feels right.
See, I'm the complete opposite. Like, I'm the guy that sits back and builds like standard operating procedures about how everything should flow. Like, you sit in it, I'm just like itching all over right now. It's like, oh, I know there's work harder or work smarter or whatever, but like, I'm just like, ugh. Like, I'm the guy that builds out like, all right, you need to hit this bullet, this bullet, this bullet, this bullet, and it
Yeah.
strokes me out.
Yeah, you stress me out. Fucking
Yeah.
working with you is stressful. Like,
I'm
and I
just
know
a
it-
stressful person
so-
in general. Like, people walk up to me all the time. They're like, dude, people can tell how stressed I am by where my hat placement is on my head. Like, if my hat is down around my eyebrows, like if the bill is down where it's supposed to be, I'm good. I'm good, Brian, right now. You can come talk to me. If it's partially pushed up and you can see a lot of forehead, I have been moving or I've been thinking so hard that I'm sweating mightily
See,
and
let
it's
it
chafing
breathe.
my head. Now, if the bill's pointing towards the ceiling, stay the fuck away from
I
me.
worship the God of chaos, so I strictly talk to you when your hat is pointing straight up in the air.
When it's straight up there,
And there's
like,
2 other people talking to you. Is the only time that I actually want to talk to you.
I've literally had people walk up to me and go, "Oh, your hat's straight up there. I'll come back later." Like they've learned me
I
by
think
now.
that's
Like,
the most fun. Yeah,
oh, it's so bad.
yeah. When you started there, I was like, he's just gonna be a manager really soon. And I was like, I hope he's not my fucking manager, because I don't want to do hard work like that. I do just enough work to get by.
You got to get by. That's all you need.
My bosses know this. There is no secret to this, right? But I don't do a bad enough job to where anybody has to say anything to me, because I'm really just bad.
Fly under the radar.
I used to try to do the whole, by the policy thing, because I used to work, straight up at the service desk for, Walmart. And there I am trying to argue with people all day, and they'd be like, well, prove it. And I'd pull up a policy. And they'd look at it and be like, well, I want to talk to a manager. And a manager would walk up and just let them walk away with the world. They'd be like, fuck your policy. And I'd be like, well, why am I arguing policy if it doesn't matter at all? If I'm
Policy
just gonna
doesn't
sit here-
matter. It's literally just words on the
Yeah,
paper.
so-
Exactly. I've never
I've
seen
learned
anyone that
that.
doesn't have at manager's discretion at the bottom.
I've been around so many employees that are like, well, it says you can't do this. And I was like, well, that's a lie. Like, you didn't read that. Like, biggest not being able to talk about your pay at work. I was like, bitch, if you want to tell me how much you make, you can tell me, and nobody on earth can stop you
can't
from
touch
saying
you for
it.
that.
They can't. No.
I was like,
cannot.
I was like, they put that in your head to make you think you can't. There is
Purely
nothing
psychological.
anywhere that says you can't.
It's actually probably the smartest thing in the world for you to have those conversations and know what
It's-
your worth is.
It's frowned
Absolutely.
upon. Like, shitting at the front door.
I mean, it is
Oh,
what it
it's
is.
illegal. Is that illegal?
I don't know.
Is
Like,
illegal
on
if
what
it's
side
as
of the
far as
front
you
door?
can make it.
Masturbating on an airplane.
That's illegal.
That's illegal.
Oh, is it?
Illegal, yeah.
I would say.
It's a high altitude projectile.
I mean,
Shut up.
technically,
Oh my god.
The fuck?
Last thing
you can
before
shit
we
at the front door. And
we
walk into
completely
this
let
room.
go of bad employees. And then, like, this works on both sides of the system, whether it be management or actual employee. Do you prefer to have a long leash and like your manager trust you, or do you prefer to be micromanaged and have your manager keep you on task?
I literally don't want anybody to talk to me ever.
I don't want to, as a manager, I don't want to talk to anybody about stuff like that. I would rather, I still remember this, and I'm sure she'll probably listen to this. It was my first management role in the job I'm working right now. And I'm going down the row, like meeting with all my new employees and stuff. And I get to one employee. She looks at me. She's like, okay, listen, I've been in ops management and things like this before. You're never going to have to tell me to do my job. You're never going to have to talk to me about how bad my performance is. All I ask is that you stay out of my way. Don't bother me. Let me clock in, do my shit, and go home. I was like, yes, ma'am. I was like,
Deal.
deal.
We'll get along.
Side off. You are going to be perfect. She's my boss now. It's just the way it works out.
Well, I mean, that's where you find your performers too. You give them a little bit of a leash because if you just hold somebody's hand all day long, you're never going to get to see what they're going.
But there's also some
Yeah.
people whose
Then
hands,
they'll
if
get
you
used to
don't
it.
hold all day long, it's
Well,
your ass, and,
and
you're
that's what I'm
getting
saying.
fired.
Yeah.
You got to find out. You got to find out that length to let out.
That's why I think other people, other employees get mad because like I don't get micromanaged. Like my boss is awesome and doesn't micromanage me, but it's also because like I just do my job.
Have you
like,
met
just do
you?
your job?
You're impossible to micromanage. Like
Yeah.
like you think it's because you're doing your job. It's because no one wants to deal with that freaking hassle.
Yeah.
No one wants to try to hold you to any type of parameters.
100%.
sir.
Yeah, because like, and it's because like I try to be cool about it, and then it comes out in me that I have to just say what nobody else is gonna say.
But you're funny, so it gives you leeway.
Yeah, it's all a bit.
Yeah, you just got
It's
to learn how
probably-
to approach the people.
Yeah, I've been on a bit for 30 years.
Yeah.
Character's good. Solid performance.
We're gonna keep them around.
Good development so far.
Hey, thanks. All right, that's our show, y'all. Anybody got anything else to say? All right,
Don't be afraid to quit your job today.
don't be afraid to quit your job.
And go take your children to watch Cocaine Bear.
Nobody's stopping you from quitting your job. but you. Love y'all.